Right friends, welcome back to English Comprehension and Vocabulary. This is 16th session and today we are going to deliberate on yesterday's Economic Times editorial, and tomorrow we are going to deliberate on today's Economic Times editorial. Tomorrow's discussion will be on getting the solar power goal on track, and today's discussion is collect tax but don't terrorize taxpayers. Two things I would like to tell you. I am giving the article one day in advance because of the reason that you can go through this article and you will have preliminary idea about the passage. That is the reason of giving this. And second point is, for the time being we will continue with editorials, basically economy related editorials of the Economic Times, Business Line, Business Standard, and after 3 months we will switch over to slightly difficult articles in Harvard Business Review, The Economist. That we will do after 3 months, probably after 50 or 60 sessions we will switch over to that difficult topics. So, for the time being this is more than sufficient, and after 3 months we will take much difficult topics. And now let us look at this: collect tax but don't terrorize taxpayers. What is the context? The context of this passage is, recently the Income Tax Department sent notices, or you can say through emails as well as through messages. The Income Tax Department asked with regard to the details from around 18 lakh persons in the country. The persons between this November 8 and December 30, during the demonetization period, whoever deposited demonetized notes of rupees 500 and 1000 beyond certain limit, they were asked to confirm with regard to deposits, and 18 lakh such notices were sent by Income Tax Department. And this editorial is with regard to collect tax but don't terrorize taxpayers. The Income Tax Department, there is one negative aspect, and some of the Income Tax Department officials are terrorizing the people, and the overall impression is, when more power is given to Income Tax Department, it may lead to tax terrorism. Tax terrorism means by strong arm measures or arm twisting measures, by interpreting income tax rules and regulations, and through various coercive methods, the taxpayers will be harassed. That is the meaning of tax terrorism. Nowadays, after demonetization, powers are given to income tax authorities to look at the deposits above certain limit, and this may lead to tax terrorism, coercive methods by some of the tax officials, and this is the reason why several newspapers are writing articles with regard to tax terrorism. Tax terrorism means harassing the people unnecessarily without a rational basis by citing some law or the other Income Tax Act and then harassing the people. That is the tax terrorism. Right. So, let us start. The Income Tax Department, this is very simple passage in the simple paragraph. The Income Tax Department has reportedly asked more than 18 lakh people to give information. This is very simple English, please understand. The Income Tax Department has reportedly asked, because a recent phenomena, that is why he used has asked more than 18 lakh people to give information on the source of deposits. They have sent notices to the persons or entities whoever deposited beyond certain limit. Post demonetization, this is additional information, that means after post demonetization, source of deposits of rupees 500 and 1000 rupee notes. And now Income Tax Department has sent polite letters, posting polite letters of inquiry based on information shared by the banks So, information how much money is deposited by the person or company, that information was given to income tax department by the banks. Based on that information, 18 lakh notices were sent to the people based on the information given by the banks after demonetization of November 8. So, this is all about this paragraph, and all this exercise by income tax department, because income tax department has sent polite letters. That is why all these actions by income tax department till date might seem innocuous to a new arrival from Mars. What is the meaning of new arrival from Mars? The meaning is, it looks innocuous. Innocuous means harmless, completely safe. It looks innocuous to the persons who do not know about income tax department. The persons who do not know about the arm twisting activities of income tax department, for them it looks innocuous, it looks harmless. But the persons whoever have faced the wrath of income tax department till date, they do not feel that it is innocuous. But for the persons, new persons who do not know about the income tax department, for them it looks innocuous. Innocuous means harmless. Please look at this sentence. Innocuous means completely harmless. I have given one example. Two persons came to the colony first, and the two persons who came to reside in our colony look innocuous, look harmless, but there are several criminal cases pending against them. So, innocuous means harmless. So, for the new persons who do not know about income tax department, this polite request sent by income tax department looks harmless, right. So, then read the next paragraph. To those used to the ways of the income tax department, that means to the persons who know about income tax department, it is an ominous missive, right. It is an ominous missive. Previous word we learned, that is innocuous. Innocuous means completely harmless. This is for the persons who do not know about income tax department. It looks like that. But for the persons who know about income tax department activities, it is an ominous missive. Missive means official letter or formal letter, you can say. The letter, official letter or formal letter is ominous. Ominous, what is the meaning? Ominous means which indicates that there is something unpleasant. When there is something unpleasant appears in the horizon, then you have to use ominous. I have given one example. There was an accident. Then Rajesh maintained ominous silence when I asked about the health condition of his uncle subsequent to the accident. There was an accident. I asked Rajesh about the health condition of his uncle, and he maintained ominous silence. That means the condition of his uncle is not satisfactory. It is some unpleasant situation. Missive, I have already told you, missive means official or formal letter. Recently, demonetization committee is there. Kerala Chief Minister sent a 2-page missive to the demonetization committee. The meaning is official or formal letter. Under those circumstances, only missive is to be used. That is from some statutory or government body only. If I am writing a letter to you, you cannot call it missive. If you are receiving some letter from government organization, that is a missive you can call, official or formal letter. So, Kerala Chief Minister sent a 2-page missive to the demonetization committee. Here ominous means something unpleasant. So, the persons whoever know about IT department ways, it is an ominous missive. It is not a pleasant situation. It is unpleasant situation because subsequent developments with income tax department will not be pleasant. That is the meaning of this. Whose follow through, that means subsequent developments, if not necessarily its denouement. What is the meaning of denouement? Denouement means the climax, end result. End result, if not necessarily its end result, whether end result is good or bad, he is not talking about that, need not be end result, but could prove harrowing. Harrowing means, I will tell you one by one. Here it is an ominous missive, means it is unpleasant situation because income tax department will harass the people. Some of the income tax department will harass the people. So, that is why it will be harrowing experience. If not necessarily it is a denouement. Denouement means end or climax. Climax may not be much, that means end result may not be painful, but the process may be painful. The process is a harrowing experience. To deal with income tax department, the process is a harrowing experience. Harrowing means basically extremely upsetting. The way income tax treat the people, that is a harrowing experience. I gave one example to understand harrowing. Harrowing means when somebody was taken into police custody, he will be treated badly normally. So, that is harrowing experience. So, here police custody normally results in harrowing experience for the accused because it will be totally upsetting because it is connected with the suffering of the people. So, here also the income tax department follow-up operation will be totally harrowing. Though the end, that means the climax may be something different. Climax means, this denouement means outcome of complex sequence of events or end result of a situation. The end result may not be difficult or end result may not be harrowing, but this process may be harrowing. Denouement, this meaning please understand. Denouement means the what you call this end result or climax. End result or climax is denouement. I gave one example. As the parents did not agree, there were two lovers. Yesterday we celebrated Valentine's Day, there were two lovers, and as the parents did not agree, in the movie's denouement, that means in the movie's climax, in the end stages of the movie, end result of one particular movie, the two lovers killed themselves. So, denouement means end result, right. So, here go back to the sentence says, this, it is an ominous missive, unpleasant letter whose follow through could prove harrowing. In between two commas you leave it. In between two commas is additional information. Additional information is, if not necessarily its denouement, that means the end result may not be that harrowing, but the follow through could be harrowing, right. Then apparently means normally what we expect. It may not be real, but most probably, that means we expect it to happen or it seems to happen. There are clouds, many clouds are there, then apparently it is going to rain today. It may not happen, but most probability is there. Under those circumstances, you have to use apparently because of huge clouds are there. Under those circumstances, you can say apparently it is going to rain today. So, it seems to happen, although it may not happen also at the final moment. So, it seems to happen. So, here apparently formal letters will be sent. Formal, informal, difference please understand through these pictures. Formal means public or official. Informal, it is casual. Informal dress, this is formal dress, this is formal. This is informal. So, any situation which is not public or official, and you can say private life. So, this is the difference between formal and informal, and here apparently means it may happen, most likelihood, but ultimately it may not happen also, right. So, here please understand this sentence carefully. For those used into the ways of the IT department, it is unpleasant letter whose follow through could prove to be most upsetting for the people. That is the meaning of harrowing, if not necessarily its denouement, if not necessarily the end, right. Apparently, most likely formal notices, that means official notices, will follow for those who have no convincing explanations. Official notices will be given to the people who have no convincing explanations, right. Let us look at the next paragraph. The next paragraph says that instead of scoring a large self goal by way of needless unpopularity, instead of scoring a large self goal by way of needless unpopularity. So, sending these type of notices may lead to total unpopularity, and government is most likely score self goal. What is the meaning of self goal or own goal? Basically, here trying to get an advantage, but the situation will turn worse. Sometimes we try to get some advantage, but the situation may turn worse. Some people say that demonetization is the self goal by the present government. Some people may not agree. I am not going into that dispute, but some people, especially the Congress, says that demonetization by the present government is basically self goal. That means instead of advantages, it is resulting in worst situation where GDP is falling by 1% and almost entire demonetized notes were back into the banking system. So, this is the view of some critical appraisals of some parties and some persons. I have taken it as an example, right. Here Donald Trump scored self goal with his flip flop on one China policy. Initially he stated one thing and subsequently he stated something else. Now he stated, I am honoring one China policy. So, it is the self goal by Donald Trump instead of advantage. Now, China got emboldened because of this. So, it is, you can say, self goal by Donald Trump, right. So, instead of advantage, it lead to worse situation. That is the meaning of self goal or own goal, right. So, instead of scoring a large self goal by way of needless unpopularity, the government could wait for people. Why can't the government wait? Because government can wait up to July, because July 31 is the last date for filing of income tax returns by the people. So, government can wait up to 31st July and wait for the people to disclose their cash deposits. They have to disclose through income tax returns. So, to disclose their source of cash deposits when they file their income tax returns later this year. So, instead of going into all these notices and all becoming unpopular and it is becoming self goal, why can't the government wait till July 31st when people will declare their income through the income tax returns, right. Disclosing means, all of you are familiar with the disclosing. This is making known something, right. So, making known the fact of something is made known, that is disclosure. Public disclosure of this information will have far reaching consequences on the future cash flows. This is one example I have given. Look at the next paragraph. So, the tax return form. So, what he is suggesting is, what the editorial suggesting is, let us wait till July 31st. What is the hurry actually? By July 31st, people will submit their IT returns. If they are not submitting IT returns, then you can ask the people. So, the tax return form should be redesigned. Tax return form must be redesigned to accommodate a special schedule for disclosures on cash deposits made between November 8 and December 30. There should be one page where people should be declaring how much money of old currency notes I have deposited in the bank. Please include one special form. Preliminary government data shows an average deposit size of 5 lakh rupees in 1 crore bank accounts. In 1 crore bank accounts, average deposit size is rupees 5 lakh, and let them file the returns. About 5 crore tax returns are filed, but less than 1% are taken up for scrutiny. He is talking about last year. About 5 crore tax returns are filed, but less than 1% are taken up for scrutiny. Scrutiny means they will go through it. Detailed examination of something is scrutiny. Please understand, detailed examination of something is a scrutiny. Here I have given one example. The statistics of the total value of currency notes printed and demonetized notes which were deposited in the banking system will come under close scrutiny. Look at the next paragraph. Given that demonetization was a one-off exercise. What is the meaning of one-off? One-off means it happens only once. Demonetization is not regular exercise, it is a one-off exercise. That means it happened only once, it will not happen once again. So, one-off exercise means something that happens or is made only once. So, demonetization was a one-off exercise. The tax department can always take up more cases for computer assisted scrutiny this year. Tax department can always take up more cases for computer assisted scrutiny this year. Action must be taken. He is suggesting action is to be taken to fight tax evasion indisputably. That means there is no dispute about it. If any tax evasion is there, then it must be taken up. What is the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance? These two terms quite confusing, and most of you may not have clear idea about tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax evasion is illegal, criminal. That means he is hiding income. That is illegal totally. It is criminal. It is violating the tax laws. It is a fraud. So, it is a deliberate concealment of the facts, and imprisonment or penalty can be imposed. So, this is tax evasion. Then tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is people go to some person and find out various loopholes in the tax laws. They look for various loopholes in the tax laws and they try to hide their income by citing one or other loopholes in the tax laws. So, this is tax avoidance. There is a difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. It is totally legal. It is a minimizing tax liability by taking unfair advantage of the shortcomings in tax laws, and it is totally unfair, unethical, and it takes a benefit of loopholes in law and no imprisonment normally in tax avoidance cases. So, there is a vast difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. Please use them at the right point. When you are looking at some English passage, this assumes lot of significance, and here action must be taken to fight tax evasion indisputably, there is no doubt about it, but strong arm measures, coercive measures. So, this is one example of tax terrorism. Right? People are talking about tax terrorism. Tax terrorism means interpreting the tax laws in favor of government. When there is some ambiguity, interpreting the tax laws in favor of government and citing several objections while refunding money. At the same time, strong arm measures or arm twisting measures by income tax officials, coercive measures, rent seeking. So, these are all examples of this tax terrorism, right. Here the word used is strong arm. Police normally resort to strong arm tactics. Police basically when there are agitations, police sometimes resort to strong arm tactics, and strong arm is a method or a type of behavior using force or making threats. So, police resorted to strong arm tactics to break the protests of the agitators. This is a strong arm tactics, right? And productive, counterproductive. In the sentence, it is mentioned that the strong arm practices by income tax officials may prove to be counterproductive. Productive means achieving good results. Counterproductive is opposite. Instead of achieving a good results, when you are getting something opposite, that is counterproductive. So, counterproductive is just opposite to productive, right. So, here when you go back to the sentence, the paragraph says that, but strong arm measures will be counterproductive, and the need is for the government department to minimize interface with the taxpayer. Interface. What is the meaning of interface? There are two meanings. One is user interface. All of you are familiar with the user interface in mobiles or web interface. The way in which information is made available on computer screen or mobile, that is user interface. But the present meaning of interface is a point of contact, you can say. The contact between the income tax officials and the people must be made minimum. The interface must be made minimum. Interface is there. If more interface is there, then there is possibility of tax terrorism. Nowadays, lot of data is available. Through various analytics, big data. You can track the persons easily. You can track the activities of various persons easily through banking system, financial system, through various trades. So, there are several mechanisms. Smartly you can track people, and there is interface must be reduced. When more and more interface is there, more and more strong arm measures are expected, and basically with more interface, corruption will increase. That is the meaning of this paragraph, right. So, here if you look at this paragraph, this is need is for the department to minimize the interface with the taxpayer. To minimize interface with the taxpayer is basically to minimize the contact between taxpayer and the people, so as to reduce corruption. Taxation must be tackled mostly in a smart way, and the interface should be reduced to reduce corruption, right. So, look at the next paragraph. The next paragraph is, this is a modern tax administration calls for, he is giving suggestions also, a modern tax administration, how a tax administration should look like, calls for intelligent use of technology. Nowadays, everything is tracked because of this ICT, everything is tracked. So, intelligent use of technology and use of big data. Lot of data is generated every day, all the activities can be tracked nowadays. So, use of big data to track tax evaders. I just now told you what is meant by tax evasion. So, use of technology and big data must be used to track tax evaders. Already the annual information returns filed by third parties, that include banks provide information to the department, income tax department, and banks also report suspicious financial transactions report. Under normal circumstances also, if anyone is depositing rupees 10 lakh or more in cash, please leave demonetization. Under normal circumstances also, if someone is depositing rupees 10 lakh in cash, then that information will go to the authorities, that suspicious financial transactions will be sent, right. Financial intelligence unit is there under finance ministry, that information will be sent to this financial intelligence unit. So, there are several ways. So, already annual information returns filed by third parties that include banks take the department half the way there. That means almost half of the job of income tax department is done, because there is inbuilt mechanism through banks and financial institutions. The department should walk the remaining distance. Wait for some time, already half of the information is with them. Let us wait till people file the income tax returns, and subsequently they can look at the aspect of what to do. So, wait for some more time, that is the meaning of this sentence. The department should walk the remaining distance, not force potential taxpayers to run scared. So, potential taxpayers, by issue of such notices, 18 lakh notices were issued. If the income tax department is not waiting till people file the returns, and there is every possibility that arm twisting may take place. So, potential taxpayers may be scared because of this type of attitude. Scared means this is frightened or worried. She is scared to tell about what really happened during the accident. Scared means frightened or worried. So, here potential taxpayers will be scared. So, what the passage conveys is, please wait and do not be in a hurry. And income tax department, at least part of the income tax administration, is known for coercive methods. It may lead to tax terrorism. So, do not give more power to income tax department. Nowadays, several methods are available, like big data, and intelligently you can track the taxpayers or tax evasion, and the interface between the income tax authorities and persons must be reduced, otherwise corruption will increase. So, this is what is indicated in this editorial. Right friends, tomorrow we are going to deliberate getting the solar power goal on track. This talks about solar power, right. So, we will meet tomorrow at 12 noon. For the time being, it is goodbye to one and all. Have a nice day. Thank you.